I'm sure Allegra. So at home, I care for three amazing children who have different abilities and different challenges. Our list of diagnoses vary from autism to cerebral palsy to Klinefelter to asthma to ADHD, you name it. So we're always on the go between therapy and appointments and just to make sure that they get the medical care they need. And at work, I'm also a caregiver. I actually support other caregivers. I manage a program that I help families connect to resources, but also address the mental health and emotional needs of caregivers. So it's estimated that 1 out of 5 adults in the US is a caregiver. So that's a fifth of the adult population. And so say, the days will vary for each one of us as caregiver, but for all of us, I can say that there's always this sense of being on call, always being on the clock nonstop. From the time you wake up, you're making sure that medication is given, that, there's the coordinating therapies or appointments for the day. It's finding, whatever resources they need just for that day alone, and then it's managing all the other parts of life. For most of us, is working, probably managing your own work schedule, and when the other loved ones in the house as well. It's making sure that everybody else is being supported while you're trying to focus on the maybe urgent, immediate needs of the person who has a chronic health issue or a disability. So whether it's the financial, medical, spiritual, emotional needs of our loved ones are always on our minds nonstop. Stress is way high for all of us, in life, but more so for caregivers because we're never off the clock. We're always on call. Even when we're not physically home, we're always worrying about when is the next shoe going to drop. Is the person, even when there's paid staff there, is this person who showed up to work, are they actually doing what they said they're going to do? Or that they're playing on the phone while my loved one is maybe, aspirating and there's food in the background. And those are things that actually happen, that families have to worry about nonstop. I think often the caregivers are isolated from the whole care team and they're kind of seen as an outsider. And then because they're seen as an outsider, sometimes they don't have the opportunity to provide information that's very valuable, crucial, even life-saving, I would say at times, that concerning the care of the patient. And it could be something as simple as a medical records not being updated. So what's on file, it's not always true. It should be true, but sometimes things change, but the change didn't happen in the records. For example, my own life, where they actually missed putting there that I have diabetes and they were going to give me more insulin that I did not need. And so there's little things like that could life saving. So if I'm in a situation where I cannot advocate for myself, someone who knows me can do that for me. So for my loved one, that's what I do. For other caregivers, that's what we do for a loved one, so that providers, medical providers, are not only focusing on what's on paper, but getting more, vital and day-to-day more accurate information from the person that's there. Definitely, caregivers should be part of that care team and have a place at that table as decisions are being made for the care of the loved one. Even before we get to the hospital, our caregivers, like family caregivers, are already part of that care, seen as part of that care team, invited to be part of that care team, so that even when we get to the hospital, communication has already been made. We already established, who that person is, support person is, and then they're just things just move a little smoothly per se, and they can be invited to the discussion without spend wasting more time to try to decide who's going to be there, what they can do or cannot do. So I think it's yes, in the hospital we need to establish that, but when possible even start establishing that connection before we get to the hospital.